evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight I'm going to talk about limiting out and reaction speed. This is a special educational video. This is just for members of the room, and we're going to try to figure out how to bring other people to the next level. The highlighted stock of the day is going to be Kodak. There was a call in the room that Kodak was going to be working with Microsoft. I spit it out as fast as I humanly can, so I just put the pieces together. You see, interpretation of news flow, it's not only speed of the news flow, it's speed, it's interpretation, it's reaction. There's a lot of things that go into news flow that are not really that present in other trades. Like, so for example, if I'm doing a Mark 1 in something, if I'm going ahead and doing a Mark 1 in something, I could simply, and you know, just for example, and again, I can't tell you what to do, but I could only show you via my layout. Here we go. And we're just gonna blow this up, and we're just gonna show it like this today, okay? So here's the thing. Here's the thing. So today there was Kodak. There was some Kodak news, and the Kodak news was that they were going to be working with Microsoft. There was a disclosed Microsoft partnership. There's a collaboration, and this is just literally, literally coming off of, Kodak.com. They announced an expanded collaboration with Microsoft to provide industry solutions. And if you look at it, um, the news was actually old. Ironically, it came out on December 9th. So you might say, well, why would that shoot Microsoft up today? Why would that shoot Microsoft up? Because what happened here, what happened here was Jim Continenza, I guess he's the CEO of Kodak or someone big. He literally tweeted out. He literally tweeted out, "We are part." Look at his tweet here, and I'll just copy and paste this for you to make it real easy to read. And by the way, this is after the fact. Keep in mind, I don't have time to go through all of this. I am just trying. So here is what it is. We are partnering with at Microsoft, hashtag VPress, and PrintViz1 on the print industry's first all-in-one business software portfolio. So for me, this is, I'll explain even my interpretation of why I liked it so much. So for me, it's the word Kodak, and it's the word partnering, and it's with the word Microsoft. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't give an F what the company is on the first side and what the company is on the second side. Do you think I give a shit if it's GameStop? Or, I mean, GameStop would probably be a bad example now, but it would be a similarly shitty company. I really don't care. For example, it's, any smaller company. So yes, Kodak is a much smaller company than Microsoft. You don't really need to, and this is helping you understand what I go through the news flow, because I feel by giving you all the information, this is going to help get you to the next level. I can't tell you this will be the right thing for you. I can't tell you it's the wrong thing, but I'm going to give you right now as much information as possible, so at least you get to delve. Um, Within my head and get a sense of what's happening here. Okay, so here's the thing. So imagine if you heard, you know you know you can name any small shitty company. Name a small shitty company. Somebody, one that's known. Come on, guys. Make you sit at the small table where Booth used to sit. All right, UAVS, that's a good one. UAVS, AMC, GME, Michaels, MBOT, Fitbit, right, Space, exactly. Bed Bath, Nikola, Sorrento, all good names. Now imagine this. And this is what, the Newsbeat room is saying right now if you're watching the video, but honestly, it's only going to be available for you guys. Now imagine this. Now I want you to imagine this. I'll start with Geronimo's. UAVS is partnering with Google Do you think I give an F what is said afterwards? UAVS is partnering with Google so they could snoop inside bathrooms and watch people shower. Do you think I really give an F what happens after that? So the whole point of the news flow is to get to this point. We, meaning Kodak, because it came from the Kodak CEO, we are partnering with Microsoft. That's it. Do you think I care what happens afterwards? That's what got me mega excited. That's what excited the shit out of me. We are partnering with Microsoft. Say what? Say what? I'm going to smack those options so hard that the next contract out of the money is going to expire. That's how hard I'm going to smack the shit out of them. Do you think I really care or understand what is the print industry's first all-in-one business software? Let me interpret the news. Fundamentally, yes, you need to do that. Scalp-wise with NewsFlow, there's no time for that. The robots are already there interpreting, reacting, buying. You're late. That's it. You're done. So what can you do? So I'm talking to people, and there's a myriad of prices. If you couldn't see in chat, there are people buying it at $10.14. There are people buying it at $11 and change, 40 cents. Why would two traders buy it $1.20, $1.30 apart? So this is how I approach it. For me, this is all the information I have in the beginning. So what do I do? What do I say, guys? When what you see highlighted is all the information I have. What do I say? What do I do next? I don't know if it's bad or good or anything. What do I do? I say it. Kodak. Kodak. Whether I say KODK or not, it's effing Kodak. I say Kodak. So going over here now, going over here now. Um, one second. Let me just turn that off. That off. Okay. So knowing right now that it's Kodak, let's say I was watching Apple. Let's say I was watching Apple, right? And all of a sudden, I was watching Apple. Apple, all right. Holy shit, Apple is up. Anyway, why is Apple up this much? Anyway, news? Okay. Had to be news. Yeah, I know. I'm just electric vehicle news. Nice. Okay. Fair enough. All right. So imagine that it's in the middle of the day. I'm not doing shit. So you see the difference between this and this? What are the differences between this, A? What's the difference between A and B? What is the difference? The difference is the symbol is highlighted, and I need one less action to type in a symbol. Because, for example, if I was watching Tesla and I'm sitting there, thinking of buying Tesla, my finger's depressed on the buy to open button, and I'm thinking, I'm not sure why that little thing is rotating. All right, it's rotating. Anyway, so let's say I'm watching Tesla, and all of a sudden it's like Kodak. The first thing I do is I go here, I type in Kodak. I have no idea what's going to happen here. I have no idea what's going to happen. I mean, there's a put window right next to it, so just pretend that that's there. I don't know if I'm going to buy or sell Kodak. I have not the slightest clue. Maybe I won't do either. So as soon as I see Kodak, I'm like, okay. I type in Kodak right away. I don't hesitate. Why? Because I might need to pounce on it right away. Then what I do, my next step is what I do next is I talk about them with Microsoft, partnering with Microsoft. So I'm not sure how much I'm paraphrasing, or maybe I sounded exactly like this. I'm like, Kodak partnering with Microsoft, Kodak partnership, Microsoft, because, and I get excited about that because that's the only information I needed to make money on this trade. That was it. There's nothing else. I didn't care what it is. I didn't care who their competitors are. I don't give an F what that link says. I don't give an F what those hashtags said. I don't care if the Kodak CEO is, having a relationship with the Microsoft CFO and they're just talking about their love relationship. Because even then, the black boxes are just going to interpret Kodak partnering Microsoft. They're looking for, remember, robots are robots. I know, sounds obvious. So they're saying they're trying to figure everything out, and they're just looking for keywords. Kodak, partnership, Microsoft. When I talk to you, ladies and gentlemen, they're only programmed to read the keywords, like Cliff is saying, correct. When I talk to you like that, it's kind of funny what I'm actually doing for you. I'm actually talking to you the way I personally perceive the Wall Street robots would perceive the information. Do you understand that? I'm actually talking to you the way I think they would perceive the information. So really, I'm talking to you how I think black boxes, in my opinion, how they think. Does that sound crazy? Right? You can Mr. Robot, right? But that's what it is. Now, why is that important? Can anyone tell me why it's important that I think like that and talk that way to you? Why is it important? It's fast. Exactly, George. Yeah. Comes down to trust too. I agree, Buggy. Um, you know, and trust is something that has to be earned after a while. I understand that you guys, trust my conviction because when you see enough of it, at this point, you're just subconsciously putting odds on it. If Mark is excited, doesn't mean it'll work, but what are the odds of it being scalpable? What are the odds of follow through? What are the odds of this? What are the odds of that? And that is that is where the speed comes. That is where the speed comes. So what I do is not only do I think like a robot, and by the way, what I do is infinitely more transparent. It's the most transparent way you could do it in the industry. People like showing positions and whatnot. That's transparent. No, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Oh, I'll show you my positions. That's not going to help you. Let me ask you a sec. Let me ask you this. If and let me explain it to you. This is why we run things the way we do. It's taken us years to get to this point, and I just want to explain it because the more again, I'm not saying you have to agree or disagree with what I'm saying. I'm just explaining to you my reasoning for it. And again, I will never shove something down your throat and tell you to like it. But I will put the information to you, hand it to you on a silver platter, and say, do you like this? Do you not like this? I'm fine with either answer as long as you allowed me to show you what's up. So here's the thing. Imagine that. So, first thing I see is Kodak, call out symbol, type in symbol. So when I'm like, Kodak, I'm literally typing as I'm saying that after I say, so my first step is, um, this is wrong. The first step is calling out. This is as an accurate generalization. I'll say it like that. I'll never accomplish anything 100% of the time. I try to do this 100% of the time. Call out symbol, in this case, Kodak. Type in symbol. Type it. Type in symbol. Interpret news, ignore or buy. Interpret news, ignore or buy. This is, now notice I put this in the same step. I didn't do step 3 and 4. You could do it step 3 and 4, but they're really the same thing. So when I say Kodak and I'm on Kodak, what happens is What happens is, let's say I'm on, Apple, and I'm like, so this is what'll sound in the room. You won't hear anything. It'll be silent. Kodak. My mouse goes right over to buy to open. I'm not buying it. I'm not doing anything. Partnership with Microsoft. Click, 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 click. Whoops. Huh? Oops. Market orders. What is this error? Anyway, you get the point. Kodak. Kodak. Click, 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 click. If I'm tiered up, click or click, click. Does that make sense? Do you guys get that? So that's what I'm doing. Now, if I were to show you the positions, let's say I were to show you the positions, this is what would happen. First of all positions are delayed everywhere. So you might see them 3, 4, 5, 10 seconds. I don't know what the delays are in different services. You'd see the positions delayed, but even if you saw them in real time, pretend you saw them in real time. Pretend you saw them in real time. You know how it would look like? This is what it would look like if you saw my positions in real time and I called it out after I bought it. You ready? This is why I do it the way I do. Just so we're clear. Just watch. It would be like this. You wouldn't hear anything this whole time. This is, watch my screen and listen. This is what it would sound like to you. Kodak has some news on, Kodak and Microsoft has some news. I bought it. And you would see it on my window. Do you guys understand what kind of a disservice I'd be doing you by showing you the bullshit form of transparency? Do you guys understand that? So by doing it like this, I'm putting you in the driver's seat with me. People get better fills, earlier fills than me at times. Do you guys understand that? The only reason you were able to buy it so fast, Cliff, was for that reason, and other people as well. That's true transparency. Everything else is bullshit. Everything else is a smoke. Oh, I could see their positions. Bullshit. Bullshit. Yeah, you could see their positions after they're up money and you're buying after them. Now, look, a lot of you bought after me. Some of you are buying with me. I get it. Within microseconds, before, after, I don't know, wherever, right? So I'm not denying that fact. Okay? So this is what I want right now. So right now I'm going to go to a website. All right. So there's a reaction timing test. What you do is you type in the following. You type in math is fun reaction timing test. You type that in your Google browser. Math is fun reaction timing test. You type in, and I had this on my old videos, but I'll bring it up again since I don't know where people are. Just Google this. Google this. Google this. Math is fun reaction timing test. Now, I will tell you, humans have the magical ability, psychologically speaking, to improve upon things. All right? This is why this is why a lot of people who are gamers have a natural ability to trade well as long as they get their entire process in life, their shit in life around them in order. This is the reason. So let's see how good you are. Let's let us see how good you are. So after you go to Math is Fun reaction timing test, right over here, you click the first thing right here, reaction time test, Math is Fun. And this is what happens. And you just do it with your mouse. And what you do is you're going to see a circle. You wait until it changes color, and you click on the screen as quickly as you can. Your speed will be anywhere on the screen within this black box. Your speed will be recorded over 5 attempts. Now what happens is there's something in human beings called a startle reflex. The bigger something is in front of your face, the quicker you're going to react. So what happens is with your startle reflex, the dots are small red and it turns yellow, small red, yellow, small red, yellow. And then when you see the big yellow, you're actually going to react quicker. So when I go ahead and I'm like, Kodak, Microsoft is blah, 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 or maybe I'll say Kodak. I won't say it excited the first time. I'll be like, Kodak, Microsoft deal with Kodak. I'm actually triggering your startle reflex. There's an entire psychological process for why I do things the way I do. It's not done randomly because I'm a little dipshit who doesn't give an F about anyone and is just having fun and just pretending this is just all a fun game. I'm actually doing it to help you. And I'll show you and I'll explain. There's psychology behind it. There's science behind it. And let me show you exactly how it works, okay? Um, all right, so I'm going to do the first one. Now, keep in mind, there are people out there who make more money than me, a lot of people here in this room who make more money than me, and they might not be able to do better than me on average. But watch, I'll show you. See a red dot? Turns yellow. Turns yellow. Turns yellow. You'll notice. So, all right, so it even actually says it here. It says you may find the last score when the dot flashed up big was your quickest reaction time. This means that the rest of the time you are not using your startle reflex to react quickly. So you understand, like, I am actually trying to trigger your actual startle reflex. You understand that? Now, you'll notice with the times, right, the big one scares you. Exactly. And that's what's actually triggering your startle reflex. So please understand the pressure on me. So I don't think I said Kodak with enthusiasm. I might have just said Kodak. And then I got enthusiastic after the news came because once you're ready, you didn't need a startle reflex initially with Kodak. Sometimes I will get excited right away, but I said it pretty loud. I'm like, Kodak or Kodak or Kodak. I don't remember exactly my tonality when I said it. I can't remember, but I'll tell you right now, I am literally helping you trigger. It's on your end, Hans. You might have two browsers open. Try restarting. That's the most common reason for an echo. All right. So for example, Rose, you're saying I can't get better than 0.29. Keep practicing. You're going to get better and better and better. The more you practice, the better you get. That's what I was talking about, the human ability to improve. I got one. Play this game until you get sick of it. Do it 50 times. Do it 50 times. Your times are already getting better, right? So try constantly doing this. There's nothing wrong with doing this throughout the day if you want to keep your mind sharp if you want. You can't beat it now, but you will. Trust me, you will get better at it. You are going to get better at it. And this is a very good brain exercise. It's healthy for your brain. Luck, Josh. Trust me. That or you're effing Superman, which I'm giving a coin flip that it's one or the other. I'm saying 50-50, one or the other right now. But you don't need to be this fast, but you need to understand how your startle reflex works. Okay? So when I go loud, I'm actually triggering your startle reflex. Doesn't mean you should buy or sell something, doesn't mean it'll work, doesn't mean news flows for you. I'm just telling you what's happening. Does everybody understand why I I focus on tonality when calling out news flow? Does everyone understand why tonality is by far the most important factor in news flow? Imagine I was like this, Kodak. CEO is tweeting. Imagine I use the word CEO is tweeting. Like, you effing imbecile, Mark. What the F are you saying? CEO is Kodak. CEO is a tweet out now from the company that they are partnering with Microsoft and VPress and the PrintVis on the print industry's first all-in-one business software portfolio. Do you guys wanna hear it like that? Oh yeah, that was much more valuable. He gave the entire story. Of course you don't. But I'm explaining to you why I do things the way I do. And no, I would never do that to you. The F's the point. All right. Anyway, back to this. So there's news flow on Kodak. Kodak partnership with Microsoft. I'm buying. I go ahead and buy. The first thing I do after I buy is I wait to see what the stock is doing here. And what you saw here is how many people noticed that after you bought, the options were tripping over each other, like 60 cents on the offer, 70, 80, 90, dollar, $10, $20. Like, how many people noticed that when they were watching Kodak today? How the options were like just tripping over each other, flying. As soon as that happens, as soon as I notice that happens, I immediately go to limit. Immediately unlimit. Now, what limit will always set you for is this. Now, there's something here called the midpoint. If you left click it, you'll notice this limit price changes to it. Bid, ask. Now, it was pretty spread out. You did not want to get filled on the bid. The spread was bigger than what you even see here. It was actually more than 33 cents, obviously, in the beginning. And actually, I was actually watching to be fair, I was watching the 10.5 calls. And now you see like some tremendous spread. So what I do here, let's say I want to sell some. My, I'm, let's say I market it in right over here. I bought in, let's say, at 75 cents. Again, I cannot tell you why some of you got filled at $1.50. You were too slow for a reason. Is it your software? Is it your internet? Were you picking your nose? Were you doing something else? Were you doing something you shouldn't have? Take effing responsibility right now, because that is going to help you in the future. I'm not here to point a finger at you. I'm here to tell you that I love you and I want you to improve. And in order to do that, the tough love is take effing responsibility and fix it. Maybe there's nothing you could do with your shit layout that sucks. And you have to try a new one. Maybe you had to go, you had to take that afternoon dump, and you went ahead and you did it. And there's nothing you could do. I get it. There's people, by the way, who have told me, I'm not going to drop Boof's name, I'm not going to drop anyone's name, but there are people here who told me that they have a wireless headset, and if they have to go anywhere in the house, to the toilet, whatever, that they're always taking me with them. To the bathroom, anywhere they go, they're taking me with them because they have a wireless headset. But at the same time, even if you do have a wireless headset and you're 10 feet away, if I call out Kodak, what are you going to do? Fly over to your... And still, even people who did that would have done it earlier. So just notice there are people in this room who bought Kodak like 30, 40 seconds later than others. I need you to see what 30, 40 seconds looks like before I start showing you how I limit out here. I need you to see what 30, 40 seconds looks like. I need you to see what 10 seconds looks like. Just watch. All right. So just to be clear, you know, here it is, right? We're going to add a source here. Just one moment. Just going to show you. We're going to make that small. Okay? Just to give you an example. So let's say, all right, you're watching something else, and you go ahead and you type in Kodak. All right, Kodak, Microsoft and Kodak partnership. Boom. I click buy. Someone else just bought 10 seconds late. Someone just bought 20 seconds later. Somebody just bought for the first time now 30 seconds later. Somebody just bought now and is wondering why their fill sucked such dog shit. And they don't know why. They don't know why. It's not funny. It's not funny. It should be inspirational that you need to make a change if that's you. Do you understand? That's number one. You should all have a gaming computer. You should all spend no less than really $1,500 on a gaming machine. If you're spending less than $1,500 on your computer, I don't give an F who pitched you into it. Okay? And I know some of you are like, Mark, I cannot afford a computer. I don't know what I will or will not do for you. Maybe nothing, maybe something. I have probably donated, I don't know the number, I'm guessing hundreds of people to help them with financial situations, to either get them back on track, to help them with certain things. I have come out of pocket, as have other people inside this service, for members of our family. Do you understand what that means? Do you think, let me ask you, good or bad, you're struggling, you're doing well, you're in the middle. Do you think any other place on Wall Street would do that for you? I'm curious. You really believe that there's one other service on Wall Street where the guru was like, you know what? You're having an effing hard time. You really need a sleep bracelet. You really need this. You blew out your account. You deserve a second chance. You might need a new computer. You need a new mouse. You need a new headset. How many effing people are going to do that for you? I'm not patting ourselves on the back because it's not just me who does it here. It's the room. I'm not patting ourselves on the back. I'm just coming to you from a situation as somebody who cares about your success. And you have to be able to accept good advice. You have to be able to accept good advice. So what is that? Matthew Paul is sharing a screenshot here. Let's take a look. He's like, this is how much the calls moved in the first minute. So to give you an example, I did not, right over here, we're buying it, a lot of us. And just to let you know, each one of these candles are what, a second? Or 2 seconds or 5 seconds? What are these candlesticks represent? Just curious. I know it's a minute in total. How many candles are there here? A tick. It's a tick? All right. So to give you an example, and this is good, there are 5 ticks. Okay. So to give you an example, as the time goes on, you look at the right here. Let me just move my mug. As the time goes on, you look at the right here and you see how this price moves. You see what what do these candles represent right here? These candles represent somebody marketing in and marketing out. Exactly, Cliff. This is exactly what that represents. Marketing in and marketing out. Okay. There's no excuse why somebody should be buying this 10 seconds after someone else. I understand 3 seconds. I understand even 5 seconds. I understand 4 seconds. 5 seconds is a very long time, believe it or not. You don't have to be fast for a 5-second move, as long as your software is conducive for this trading. Now, again, I am more than happy to be. I literally forget about even just all the money I've donated to charities and people in this room. I've donated this layout to you. How many of you guys are going to become 6 or 7 figure traders because you have this layout this year, in your opinion? In your opinion, how many of you are going to be 6, 7? Some of you are like, Mark, I'm already there. Like, I know, but like, it's, I can't even tell you how valuable this is. Did I charge you for it? Would have been worth every penny. You have to take advantage of it. And I understand if you're Canadian, the government hates day traders. I feel you. That sucks. I'm sorry. There's IB, there are people who use other softwares as well. I don't really care what software you use. It just needs to be quick. All right, so let's see. All right, there's nothing happening. All of a sudden I'm like, Kodak. I type in KODK. I immediately move my mouse from the symbol over to the buy. News, not news, well, obviously news. Kodak, partnership with Microsoft, partnership with my Microsoft. Hope my effing mic is on. Like, I think that's what I said. Because for me, I have to actually flip on my mic. I have an extra step to do. I have to flip on my mic. I didn't take you through that step because you obviously don't have to do that. Unless I was just lucky and my microphone just coincidentally was on. Then I'm lucky. Okay. So I go ahead and I buy, and this layout is only for Street Smart Edge. I go ahead and I buy it. Now what happens is over here on the offers, I see them trampling over each other. 65, 72, 78, 85, I'm making it up. 93, $10, $30, $50. And as soon as I see that shit, I'm like, let's say I have 10 option contracts. I'll go ahead and I'll put out like a 5 or a 6 or a 7 or an 8 or even a 10. It doesn't matter what number you choose. But what I do is after I buy in and I see the offers trampling over each other, I immediately switch to limit. And this is very good for news plays because I almost never do this on Tesla. Almost never. But on a news play, so what I do is, so let's say this is the actual spread, 66 by $1.10. Let's pretend that's what it is. What happens is a lot of times, got to watch out using this arrow because it's very close to buy to open. And if you go ahead and you click buy to open here, after you change this from market to limit, if you hit buy to open, what happens at that point is you'll buy it between $66 and $1.10, most likely closer to $1.10. So you got to be very careful clicking this because it's right nearby to open. It's a very small thing. What would make clicking this down arrow easier? Anybody want to guess? What makes clicking the down arrow easier and avoid hitting buy to open? I know it's called a scroll. What makes it easier? There are two things that make it easier. You could use a hotkey. That's right. A gaming mouse. Very good, Rose. Finger grip exercise. All right, I got it for you. You ready for this one? You ready for this one? How about having a bigger monitor? Because that will make all the buttons bigger and easier to reach. You ever think of that one? Literally having a bigger monitor. How many inches is your Street Smart Edge on? How big of a monitor? Okay. That's not the most necessary thing, but it might help you if you have trouble with it. Another thing, so important, and this is why you should love the fact that I am a gamer. You want to know one of the most easiest things to make yourself better? Want to know the easiest thing in the world? Watch this. You guys are gonna shit a brick. You ready to shit a brick? You have toilet paper ready? You got TP? You got TP ready? Watch this. If you literally make your mouse speed slower, it's easier to have accuracy when you're trying to pinpoint something on your screen. Having a fast mouse speed is the stupidest, dumbest shit you can do as a trader. By far the stupidest shit in the world you can do. You know what's up, Harry. Play Counter Strike, you want to get that headshot and you have the little dot where you want to move left and right and just miss it. No, you want it slow. That's what makes it better. Right now, if you go ahead, mine is set for Microsoft, it's set on 3. If you look at the bottom right here, there's like bars. Mine is set on the third one. Go ahead right now. Yeah, that's cool. Your mouse, all right, your mouse has a button to change. I don't give a shit how you change it. Make it slow. The worst thing you could do is have one of those mouses that fly around. It's like, oh. Nobody talks about that. I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of dollars I just helped make some of you individually. Don't do that. Do not do that. It's a huge mistake. Take it from somebody who's a hardcore gamer. And the hardcore gamers here know exactly like, holy shit, Melnick. Why didn't I think of that, some of you? Ah, why? You don't need a fast mouse in World of Warcraft or League. It's probably why you suck at the games. Don't do it fast. That's why you all suck at video games. Make your shit slow. Yeah, you can't have it fast. You can't have it fast on Call of Duty. Are you crazy? Oh, ooh, 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 someone's here, someone's here, someone's. Yeah, you'll have no accuracy. You'll miss every time. Done. Fix that shit right now. In Microsoft, you just go to the search bar and you type in mouse speed. That's how mine comes up. It's under your mouse properties. I don't know how you are going to find it, but find it. That is something she said. That's definitely something what she would say. The mouse is a utensil of great accuracy. Amen. Okay. Okay. Also, pointers. I have my normal one. Buttons. It's all right. That's all standard. Okay. Going back to this. So I'm watching some name. Kodak. Deal with Microsoft. Click I buy. I got filled 75 cents. The offer starts trampling over each other. I immediately switch to limit. Watch this. Limit. And I see $1.10. Yeah, I'll post it at $1 here. Sell to close. I post it. As soon as I post it at $1, What do I do next? There's a thing hidden right here that you can't see. This is actually how you cancel your order. It's cancel last. It's right next to the sell to close. So let's say somebody shaves me. Somebody gets ahead of me. That's used to be the term they used back in the day to shave someone. Let's say somebody posts an offer at 95 cents and I want to cancel my dollar limit order. I'll left click here. I'll click cancel and I'll immediately go down to 94 cents and click sell to close again and wait to get filled. If shit hits the fan and you need to get out, you have to immediately just go back to market, sell to close, back to limit, put in your price. I rarely use these up here to like click because if you click here, it's $1.10, $3, 96, actually 66. It's showing 96 bid. I don't know why. It's just after hours, whatever. It's all buggy. The bid is clearly 66 cents, but you get the picture. That's how I do it. So I mark it in and I limit out. And I don't do that on all news plays. I do that when the offer starts trampling each other like crazy. I will practically never do that on Amazon. Practically, as a generalization. I have limited out on these names before. Don't get me wrong. But generally, I'm always marketing. But for example, on a name like Roku, Roku is infamous for such shit fills that I'll usually have to market. Let's say I market in Roku here. Let's say I get filled at 630 because it's such a shit fill name and it fills me 10 cents below this offer. I'll quickly limit out here and I'll see how this is moving. Let's say the offer comes up to 680 on the offer here. I'll just come in at 670, hit sell to close, post an offer at 670, go over here, click market, get ready to cancel my 670 if they don't fill me, click it if I have to get rid of it, and just click sell to close because I'm already back to market order. If I said that too fast, I don't give an F. That's what videos are for. Go rewatch this shit 20 times. I don't care. Watch this video until you hate it. Watch this video till you're disgusted by it. Imprint it in your brain. I don't care. Do it. It's worth it. God, I can't stand this effing video. That's how you know you did a good job. If I watch this video one more time, I'm going to strangle my wife. I mean, if she's a bad person, then watch it 5 more times afterwards. And if she's a good person, stop watching it right there. Okay? Just kidding. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Now, Q&A time. Q&A. Question and answer. You ask the questions, I'll give the answers. All right, I'm going to start. Vic, anyone know if SAC hotkeys can be used for option orders? Also, which window, if I have 3 all-in-one windows? You should call them up on the phone to get that answer. Hopefully someone here can help you. But even if someone here helps you, Vic, I would also just call Schwab on the phone and get an answer. Hans, only on news plays. Buy up, market, limit out. Not on all news plays. If there's news on Tesla, I'm usually marketing in and marketing out. If there's news on Apple, I'm usually marketing and marketing out. If there's news on Kodak, some other names, maybe Roku, Nvidia, you try to limit out. I'm not saying you can't mark it out. Sometimes you need to get the F out of the trade. Don't get me wrong. But you try to do your best and you settle for the worst. So buy at market, limit out. When you buy Tesla, is that at market? Sell at market for myself, Hans, as a generalization. Again, I'm generalizing what I do. I'm not saying it's the right or wrong thing for you to do. Melnick, on a different subject, in your trend line class, you say connect tops to tops, bottoms to bottoms. Um, that is the majority of stuff before I do the next complex level where you attach tops to bottoms. I noticed for Tesla there are levels where you drew from bottom to one candle top of another. Why is that? Because that is a very advanced form of trend line drawing, and I need to create another class to do that. My brother, how do you know when a stock will hit a circuit breaker and when it'll start trading again? So what will happen is when you're looking for stocks on circuit breakers, and what happens here is, let's say you see like, you know, you'll see like the bid on, you'll see, for example, like the bid and offer, right? You'll see the bid and offer here, right? So you got the little column going, and you got bid, offer. Well, just making it up. So you'll see like on the bid and offer, in your level 2 for the stock, you'll see something like this. Like you'll see the bids or whatever, something like that. Then, for example, you'll see over here an offer stuck at 1954. And what you'll see here is, here's the key. You'll notice that there's a print box right over here. So just to be clear, the print box, it's this thing right over here. It is this thing right over here. This is where the best prints go. The last print is on top. In English, the last time Roku printed tonight was 10 shares at $426.77. That was the last time it printed tonight. So going back to this here, what you'll see is you'll just see prints. You'll see prints at 1953 going off. And that's all you'll see. You'll just see a bunch of, let me move my mug. So what you'll see is you'll see, let's say something's getting halted to the upside and it shoots up. You could do it mathematically. That's the slow way to do it. Easy way to do it is you'll see there they're unable to move this 54-cent offer. They're unable to move this 54-cent offer, yet the entire time they're printing 53, which is the best bid. That's how you know a stock is going to halt. And if it lasts for, I believe it's 10 seconds where the bid doesn't drop in the next 10 seconds, the stock is going to halt. And it will usually be like that for 5 minutes. And exactly 5 minutes later, to the second, usually, sometimes it's a little different. Usually, exactly 5 minutes later, it'll reopen. Sometimes it's 10 minutes later. That's a circuit breaker halt. If there's a news pending halt, it could open up a day, a week, a month, an hour from now. And there's no set time to open. All right. Uh, Harry, can you open google.com and start clock to check the time? Many people feel the feed delayed. I don't think so. That what do you mean? So what are you proposing I do? Like literally leave like a Google clock on my screen? Is that what you're saying? There's a clock in the charts, right? So I always have my charts open, and usually in the bottom here you'll see a time. I mean, again, maybe it takes a lot of me moving around and stuff, and there's a lot of stuff happening on my screens right now. I mean, I could show. That's a hard one. I'm not saying people won't have delays. That's just something that maybe we can ask if it could be in the chat to have the clock on top. I don't know, but you will normally see the time on my charts. So it actually is always up. You won't get Google clock, but you'll get the time on my charts. I don't know if that would work or not, but it's something to definitely consider. I'll see. Do you scale out or all contracts at once? On scalps, I'll usually scale out all contracts at once unless I'll say I'm holding 10% here. On the big news ones where I felt the news is big and it's shooting up, and I pieced out a Kodak, I'll say, I sold. Usually I'm selling the majority in the beginning. I'm not usually selling a third. I'm not like, I'll usually not say I'm holding three quarters here. Like usually I buy Kodak, it shoots up, I'm selling out like 75% of my position, usually as a generalization, minimally. Sometimes closer to 90 if I'm holding. I'm taking the money every time. Laxbro, I'm just checking the mouse, bro. Awesome tip. Is there a way to test the keyboard? What do you mean by test the keyboard? You mean how fast you press a button? I mean, all the only, is that what you're asking? How to test the keyboard? What do you mean by that? Oh, like a speed test for the keyboard? Like press a button now? That would be, I'm sure there's something out there like that. You'd have to look for it. But pressing a button on a mouse with a reaction is going to be similar to you pressing a button on the keyboard. My advice is get a gaming keyboard because no, it's a very important point you're bringing up, Blacksbro. Because a gaming keyboard will have a faster, will literally send the message to your computer usually faster than a non-gaming keyboard. Get a gaming keyboard. I personally am using a G910. Make sure your keyboard and your mouse are wired. If you have wireless, that's going to slow you down. Do not use a wireless keyboard. Do not use a wireless mouse. Excellent point. What are you, crazy? Do you want to be in a situation where your battery hiccups? Maybe you fart and the ray from your mouse to your receiver gets interrupted by the methane gas that the microbes in your body released from your tuchus at that one moment. Do you really want to deal with that shit? Pun intended. Get a wired mouse keyboard. All right. Lance, if something's about to get halted, do you like that risk reward as a rule, or do you ever get out before the halt? It depends. On Kodak, the news was great. Sometimes the stock shoots up and it's like it's about to get halt. I'll give you an example. I lost 2 grand today in a stock like that. Hold on, let me find out what stock since I'm logged in. What did I lose on? What got halted that I lost on today? Some stupid stock. Does anyone remember? I lost like it was a stock that I was in a halt and was it did I have shares? Was it CCIV? Um yeah, so CCIV that was it. So CCIV there was news out that they might not be in a deal with what is it, Lucent or Lumen or whatever the heck the company is called. That they might not. It's a acquisition corp, so they merge with a real company. It's a bullshit company, Lucid. That's it. And they merged with another company. So I was in the puts here, it got halted, then it opened up and shot up, and I had 20 contracts, and it cost me like a full point, approximately. So that's a situation where I held it through the halt. You know, I feel a lot of times it's give or take, but with the Kodak news, I felt it was so good, there was a good chance it would open up higher after the halt, and that's exactly what happened. So he got halted here and then boom, opened up higher. Went as high as 1380. And then as soon as the news circulated, somebody in the room pointed out that it was old news. The tweet was new, but they were referring to something that happened in December. The stock just started coming back, and I'm like, that's it. That's when people figure out it's already factored in. Okay. Um, and how much later do the options halt? The options halt usually when the stock halts. So as the stock is stuck at this point where the bid, and I'm using these numbers arbitrarily, obviously the numbers could be different. When the stock is stuck at this point and it's printing 1953, a lot of times you'll have the opportunity to still buy options. You couldn't buy stock here at market order. Somebody would have to fill you at 1953, and the bid is usually so thick that it's very hard to even get filled. But at this time, at this point, you can still buy options. You could still buy options at this point. So when the actual stock halts, when it actually halts, not in the process of halting, when it actually halts is when the options halt. So a lot of times when I see this, I have the opportunity to buy the options. Just be careful because you could get weird fills as well. Did I hold Kodak through the pause, Aaron? I did. Not my full position, but I did. Um, maybe a quarter, 20%. I'm guessing. Retrigger, front run, buy it before it hits the trigger. You're buying it. No, it's not buying it before the trigger. It's buying it before the ask is at the trigger level. Hans. So in English, let's see. Let's use A, B, and B. I remember we had a setup in that. Um, Here's A, B, and B early on today. This before Kodak today, this was my best name. So it's going up here. It digests here, and right over here, the bar opens up, shoots $1.29 through the level, and then pulls down. What part here? I'm buying A, B, and B before, right? So the high of this bar right here is 187.92. So this is the information we have at this point. Let me move my face so we could see it. This is the information I have on this point for Mark 1 setup. As you can see right there in A, B, and B. This is a 1 minute. So the high of this bar is 187.92. So then the next bar comes in, shoots above and pulls below. I'm buying it either as this bar is closing because it's strong, or before this, or as this bar opens, somewhere in between there. And the trick is, this is probably a bad example. The trick is to buy before the ask, the offer in the level 2 on the stock side is below 187.92. For a stock to trigger, you need a bid at 187.92 or higher, followed only after that point 100 share print or higher on the offer. That's what triggers a stock. The trigger is 187.92. The stock doesn't trigger until a 187.92 bid or higher comes in, followed by a print on the offer. Get it? That's what makes a stock trigger. So how do you front run? Every time I try to be in before the offer is at 187.92. So at a lower price, 187.80 is fine, 187.50 is fine, 187.60 is fine, 187.95 not okay. Those who sell not invited to Moon. Dogecoin. All right. Should we buy into the halt? That I can't legally answer that question, Alex. Come on. You're risking 100% of the option price at that point. Maybe yes, maybe no. If you want to do the risk. If the tone is off, what difference will it make? You'll miss it. Just blame yourself. Um, okay. I don't know if you're asking me a question or pointing it out to someone else. Tom, when you don't say I'm in very light, I can't tell if you're going for 10 or 500 contracts. I try to imply my conviction very early. So I don't have a lot of confidence here. If I tell you very light, it ends up hurting people. I used to say I'm medium, I'm very light. It ends up hurting people because they're like, "Oh, Mark, you said you took 10 contracts." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's like 10 contracts at Tesla's like very, very light." It's like, "Oh, I thought that was conviction." And for me, I slammed in 5 and I usually do 1. And it creates a very bad thing. So what I do is I talk about the conviction of the setup before it gets to that point. So I'll say, I don't really like this setup here. That's when I'm very light. And saying tier one, two, or three will end up hurting you. I've tried that, Tom. It's a good idea. I mean, I've literally tried it, and it's ended up hurting people, dramatically hurting people. It's a bad way to do it as a generalization. The best way to do it is it doesn't really matter how heavy I go in a situation. You should be heavier or lighter than me based on your setup. So, news flow aside, you know, if I say something with a patent, I did a video that shows conviction behind the news. I already did a video. So you already knew my conviction in Kodak was high just by watching the video and or listening to the tonality of my voice. That was your answer. Would have it really mattered to you if I took, at that point when I said it like that, would have it mattered if I took, 20 contracts or 50 or 100 or more? If I told you, guys, I bought 100 contracts of Kodak, there'd be people here who'd be typing it in late. Some of you guys bought it 30 seconds later. Those people would blow the F up if I said that shit. Do you understand? Mark, we all have to be responsible for our own. Yeah, I know. I'm with you. I agree. I have to do my best to keep everyone safe as well. That's why the conviction is denoted before I take the position, not after. All right. I don't really like this setup here. It's okay. Do you think I'm going heavy in that? Ooh, that's a nice looking Mark 1. Do you guys like that? Yeah? Cool. All right. Do you think I like that more? Kodak? Deal with Microsoft? Kodak deal partnership with Microsoft? Do you think I like that? I wouldn't even say it's a matter of opinion at that point. It's quite obvious. And as you get more used to me, if you're new here, it's going to become very obvious. You can't tell during the day. This is what I recommend. When you can't tell after the trade, after 11 o'clock, ask me, Mark, what was your conviction on this? And see what the room answers, and I'll ask the room, and I'll help you acclimate, Tom. It's a fair point you're making, my brother, and I'm gonna. That's how it's gonna help you. Okay, that's how we're gonna help you there. All right. And just so we're clear, there is no one system that I can use that works for everyone. It's impossible. The system I do now, I found works for the 99% of people, and if you don't get it by now, you are going to get it, and I'm going to also explain it to you further, and I think you'll get it better through that. Mark, do you have a button to flatten selling all your different entry positions in one click? I don't have a click. It'd probably be a good idea. I just right click and do cancel all orders in my order window. Yeah, it was CCIV. Melnick, I'm not saying keep the Google. I'm saying open the browser right now so we can see your browser. Open the cloud. Oh. Um, oh, so you, all right. I see. So Harry's saying adjust it now. Here. Your clock is 5.1 seconds behind. So it's literally looking at my sec. So go to time.is, go to time.is, and make sure that's good. Now we'll all have the right time together. There you go. Problem solved, Harry. Time.is. Good one. Gonna tweet it out. It's a really, really good, excellent thing you brought up tonight. Okay. So the front row movement is offer to bid to print. Right. Before the offer, then after you're in, watch the bid to print. Right. Correct. When I said F, I hope my mic works. I understood it. Well, yeah, I was hoping you would understand before that as well when I was saying Microsoft. No, no. You say high conviction, people panic and no. It hurts people. I'm telling you it hurts people. Trust me, I know. Do you think that'd make my life easier? Kodak, I slam in a shitload. High conviction? No. No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. Kidding me? So I'm slamming in, getting in fills at different prices for me to stop and look. By the way, guys, or I won't even patronize. I'll say Kodak partnership with Microsoft. Partnership with Microsoft. If after I said partnership with Microsoft the second time, you're not in, you don't have any business being in that trade, in my opinion. I said Kodak and I pause. I'm like Kodak and I pause. If you don't have Kodak up on your screen, something is wrong. Someone set up us the bomb. We get signal. Like wake up. What the F were you doing between me saying Kodak and I paused for like 3, 4 seconds? Like I don't know. How about change what it is on your end because the majority of people I speak to are having no problem jumping on board, and that's also the point of this video. And I'm going to show one more thing after this. Would calling out your fellow after the news help with someone know if they're too late? No, it wouldn't. It would hurt them. I know. Trust me. I don't. Obviously, I do everything. You guys trust me that I do everything to help. That would hurt because then I'd have to stop. And what if Schwab delayed showing me exactly where I got filled, as it happens so often? Then you want me to just wait and then call it out afterwards? Oh, wait. Mark got filled at, 40 cents, 50 cents, 60 cents a contract. I'm in at 70 or 80. Now I got to think differently. Nah. Can you count with it so we can test audit? I'll do it in the morning. You don't want me to do it now? I'll do it. All right, you ready? I'm going to count out seconds. I'm going to start at 8:52. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Knockout. Ding, 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 ding. You guys get that? What's the lag like? That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. All those are acceptable numbers. But keep in mind, I was also doing it slowly. So tell me if this this is the problem with your questions. Watch this. So I was waiting for myself to see it as opposed to predicting the number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How was that? Did that get better? Because I was waiting to see it as opposed to predicting it coming. Trust me, there's virtually no lag. It's virtually no lag. Trust me. Okay. Unless you have, system issues. All right. So, yeah, I don't know how many ticks is 0.8 seconds. All right. You can adjust your clock any way you want. We go to the Time Is website. All right, sexy ladies and gentlemen, I love you all. Hope you guys found this video extremely useful. And I'll see you guys tomorrow on the Newsbeat live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful